And one thing that this video is not is a video about long-distance relationships in the millennial definition. Because when I was doing research for this video, all I could find on YouTube about long-distance relationships were people who had never ever met before and met online and had this long-distance relationship. And that's not what this is. We've met before.
Who are you?
Just had to clarify that. Hi, my name is JP. I'm in Vietnam and I'm traveling the world. And today, Globalites, I'm here with a special guest.
Hello, everyone.
Yay! That's Joe. And Joe has been in some of my videos in the past. And what you might not know about Joe is that
I'm his boyfriend.
I am in a long-distance relationship. And today's video is all about our long-distance relationship and how we stay connected while I travel. And if you want to know more about Joe, we did a Meet My Boyfriend tag video, which you can check out. What's interesting about our story is that I already knew that I was leaving the country. I was already on track to kind of take this life-changing step for myself, and it just so happened that one day I met Joe, and kind of was not great timing, but it also was a very, very awesome thing to have happen. So I'm interested to hear what Joe has to say about this, because he's the one who is back at home and I'm the one that's traveling. So Joe, when did you find out that I was leaving?
You did allude to it the first time we met. And it wasn't like there's nothing there, so I don't want to talk about it. It was like, there's something that I'm not interested in discussing with you right now. So,
yeah.
So I was like, okay, mental note. I don't typically leave something on the table like that and not try and figure out what's going on. But the first time we met, I was like, I don't know this guy from Adam, so I'm not gonna push it. Then I went back and I talked about it with my friends and was like, yeah, I met this really cool guy. I like him a lot. He's really cute. But there's this thing that he doesn't want to talk about, and I'm worried about what that is. Second date, like first official date, we went to eat at this restaurant, and then we went to Ocean Beach and with some champagne, and it had been a hot day, but not hot at the beach. So when we got to the beach, I was cold and I did not have a jacket on, and you sort of were snuggling with me in your jacket. And we were both just kind of like, wow, okay, this is something. And you were like, hey, I'm going to tell you this, and don't worry, it's not this, because people always think this, but I'm going to be traveling for an indeterminate period of time.
Yeah, and what was your reaction to that? Because when I told you, you seemed like, okay.
I didn't need to make a decision right at that moment about what was going to happen. Maybe you'd turn out to be a jerk.
I didn't?
But I didn't need to know what was going to happen, which admittedly is not an easy thing to, it's not an easy place to come to. If you think like me, you kind of want to know what's what. But I'd talked to enough people about it, and it kind of I came to that decision on my own as well. And
obviously there was an attraction, and I would say even kind of like an intense kind of thing at the beginning. It's still strong, but like I think like for not really knowing each other very well, it was rather intense in the beginning. So yeah, it wasn't just a rational thing, Joe.
No, it wasn't it definitely wasn't a rational thing, but you put it out there. And I'm glad you put it out there, but then I had to think about how I felt about it. And I think if the intensity wasn't there, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. So then what was it like to date me with that knowledge?
I mean, I think once you told me about it and I made my peace with it, I just put it on the shelf and I didn't focus on it. And we just, carried on dating each other as if that timeline wasn't looming.
Yeah. I think at a certain point, the fact became a little bit more imminent, but for a little while there, we were just dating like there was an end in sight to being physically close to each other, or even just an end to the relationship in general. Like, I think we were just dating as if like we were just dating, and yeah. But then when it got more imminent, yeah, what was that like?
It did, obviously time moves on, and it did get more imminent, and as it came down to the wire, it became more real, and it was not an easy thing to handle. I think so. We had very logical conversations about what was going to happen when you left, and not much more than logical conversations about it.
I mean, I guess we said a lot to each other that we're going to enjoy our time with each other. But then when we got closer to it, like it just couldn't be about that anymore. Otherwise, we were just like torturing ourselves. Then we're just going to enjoy our time together, and then it's going to be over.
Yeah, I mean, it really, and that's what it had to be. And I think I give credit to you because, you've been pretty upfront about what you wanted at certain times in this relationship, and you were very clear with me. Even though I was thinking it wasn't going to come out, it wasn't going to come out of my mouth at that time. It just wasn't. But you were very clear with me, and that gave me an opening to talk about what I wanted. And happily, those things aligned. But it was very hard. It was very hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. Kind of bringing this context with what people kind of know about with this channel, it was hard to go through all that and to have this intimate thing that I was creating with like the daily vlogs and not even like talk about it with you guys. But it was kind of an intense period for us.
But if you watch his videos, he's often coming to San Francisco.
And there's a reason for that. Yeah, and then saying goodbye was really hard. There were tears. How hard was it to say goodbye?
The last time that we hung out, I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I just really was sure that I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I'm glad that I did. It actually wasn't that difficult when it came down to it. You just have to sort of put it back on the shelf and just interact with each other. And to the extent that we were able to do that, I think it was a really amazing time.
I think we made the most of the moment. We hadn't even taken a photo together since we had started dating. And so we took the opportunity to go to like a really nice viewpoint in San Francisco and get a nice memory before I left. But yeah, that was a sad day, and one that couldn't stop for me because I just had to keep going with getting ready to go. If I had the choice, I would have just like dwelled on it a little bit more.
Yeah, but this is the way it works. We have our lives. We go on with our lives.
It's true. It's true. Joe, tell the folks at home how we're still together and how we stay connected with each other.
FaceTime. FaceTime is amazing. It took me a little bit of time to get used to the idea of FaceTime. What helped me was just forgetting that just talking like the person is there. FaceTime is really great, and it works over cellular surprisingly well. I'm consistently wowed by the quality of the calls in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, like yesterday I was on a train for 9 hours and going through like rice fields and like agriculture, and we had a decent connection. It's been kind of awesome.
Great connection. I mean, we had a better connection than we've had in some like large cities that you've been in.
And we talk almost every day on FaceTime for about as little as like 15 minutes, but as much as an hour and a half. And it forces us to like talk about things that isn't just like, oh, how was your day? What's new? Because after a while, there's not anything really new to talk about. I mean, yeah, I guess like I'm doing a lot of new and different things, but like people's lives don't change drastically from day to day to day. And so the conversations that kind of come out through this kind of interaction is something that you don't even get when you're like physically together and you have to other things to distract you, like you go to the movies or you watch TV together or you go socialize with other people. Like the kinds of conversations that we've had has really actually deepened our relationship and it's allowed us to get to know each other a little bit better that I don't think we would have I think it would have taken us a little bit more time to get to if we were physically present, which is kind of sad, but it's a good thing to learn. And so I feel closer to Joe than I think I ever have, even though we're almost halfway around the world from each other.
I don't want to say it brings more pressure to the level of communication that we have, because it doesn't feel like pressure, but it's different than being in each other's presence, and there's something to that.
I think this has allowed us to develop a form of communication that I hope when we are physically present with each other can continue, which will just make things a lot more I mean, like I say hope, like not necessarily in like deep insecurity, but we've experienced this, but we haven't experienced being together post this. So I'm curious to see what that's like.
I'll just run into the other room and FaceTime you when we're...
Joe, do you have any advice for the people who are watching who may be in a similar situation?
Maybe it's not somebody traveling the world in the way that you are, but maybe it's somebody who has a job that brings them to many different places. I think the key is being clear about what you want and what your ultimate goal is to be. As long as you're both on the same page with what that is, then it's just about figuring out how you make that happen.
Right. Always taking a step closer to that, or having like something in sight, something tangible in sight that moves the relationship forward. Like getting to see each other, or planning to end the situation that you're currently in, and moving towards that so that it actually happens.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have that. Otherwise, you're just chatting to chat.
So, for example, for us, Joe's actually going to be coming out here soon to visit me. We're going to meet in Bangkok, and we haven't figured out where exactly we're going. We have a concrete next step, which is him coming out here. And then I'm going back to San Francisco for about a month to be there for his birthday and to see family and friends. And that'll happen in September, October. And then after that, we don't know. But at least we have those things to kind of keep the end in sight. So that's our plan. Still, it's a little bit nebulous, but we have something to look forward to. So Joe, what are you looking forward to most when we see each other again?
I am looking forward to physically being able to touch you and kiss you and cuddle.
I miss you the most in that sense, obviously. And I think that's what I want to do, too. Well, I can't wait to see you. And I love you.
I love you, too.
Thank you for helping me share our story.
Yeah, it's been a trip.
Thank you all so much for watching. And again, if you want to learn more about Joe and me, you can go and click on this card to see the other video that we made together. And if you want to follow Joe, just follow him on Instagram. His screen name should be popping up right here. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Follow me on all the social medias. Links are all down below. And subscribe, because I'm posting videos every single week while I'm in Southeast Asia. And eventually, I'll be posting videos of Joe and I reunited. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, get off the couch. And what, Joe?
Go out and do great things.
Close enough. All right, bye. If you're going to leave tomorrow and money is not an option, where would you go?
You're never going to get this from me.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm going to guess Finland.
Why?